We're gonna get that. Yeah. This would be the one paper stack I think I use more than anything in my studio. Yeah. I just like this because for those decorative strip dies and punches, hands down, it's the easiest. Because, yeah, then you just don't have to go and, I mean, for me it's not so much cutting a 12 by 12, it's just what do I do with the rest of it.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't care about cutting the paper, but then it's like, okay, now you got the other sheet that you're setting somewhere. So, yeah. But I'll at least do the garden greens because that's a new one. So let's go in and do some of the greenery. So you will notice that the new dies definitely have a little bit of a botanical influence, like with the leaves and the butterflies and things like that. And that's because I really wanted to try to create...
You said Debbie said it's under here, not sure under a car.
And I really tore it up down there. Well, she just goes, yeah, you did.
He's guilty.
Yeah, I'll admit it. I'll admit it. Well, it's on camera too. I was throwing it out over my shoulders like a cartoon. Then I went through there, went through that box. Yeah, I did. Sorry. Alright, so this because I did want to create some dies that had a little bit more accent, you know, something that you could accent stuff that you already had. Kind of coordinate that. So we're going to go in with this. Rolling, rolling, rolling. You'll also notice with the cutting pads, as much as I love the decorative strip cutting pads, I find myself not really using those much anymore, because without a doubt, I'll line them up and by the time they go through, halfway through the machine, they start to like scissor and go across. So these will work just the same, but then it keeps everything under that one sheet. So for this on these dies, a little trick that I find is just kind of shimmy it a little bit and see how stuff pops out a lot easier. Give it a little shimmy. So here we've got some really intricate greenery pieces that we've used for a lot of things. I mean, you'll see we've used it a lot for the nautical stuff. So if you're looking for seaweed, kind of kelp kind of things, you can also use it with the tattered floral. And this one that a lot of people seem to have liked is, of course, the ivy. This one just requires a little picking. So one thing to also keep in mind whenever using these thinner dies like decorative strip, they really are designed for cardstock and paper. That's about it. Yeah. You know, I know people say, oh, I've been able to cut fabric, I've been able to do this. They're not designed for that, and you will dull them down. You know, this is not a blade. This is just a raised piece of metal, so you can only think of it like a cookie cutter. You know, the pressure is what's kind of going through that paper layer, whereas this is a steel blade. So this thing is going to be sharp. That's why it cuts through fabric, it cuts through cork, it cuts through plastic. So just something to keep in mind, because I read all those little boards and forums and people go, oh, it worked for this. And I'm like, it might work, but you're going to ruin your thing, what you have. So.